This week's workshop improvement is a benchtop sander holder. I bought it from a Glimpse Inside. It's a kit. It comes with some very nicely cut Baltic birch parts and some hardware. About halfway through filming, I thought this was going to be a little bit of a sad story of a product failure, but it's going to instead be a story of some really nice customer service. Here's what those parts all look like before assembly. Just some nicely cut out Baltic birch, some star knobs, and some carriage bolts. So I'm going to show you how I assembled it. There are 6 parts that need to be made together into 3 parts, some glue, some 1¼ nails. I had to look at Chris is the guy who runs a Glimpse Inside. I had to look at his website to figure out exactly how to do this, but it's really pretty easy. There's no right or left. They kind of go in either way, no back or front. You just have to figure out which part goes with which, put glue on the parts that mate, and hit them together with some 1¼ nails. So that's not very hard. So why did I think this might be a sad story? I couldn't get my sander to fit. I've got an ETS EC 150 from Festool, and I looked at a Glimpse Inside the website to see how they mounted their sanders and tried to mount mine the same way, and this will show in a second. There's a taller part of the sander mount, and on the website it showed the taller part of the sander mount being the part that was closest to the plate of the sander. And here I am just kind of cleaning up the glue on it. Like I say, there's really no right or wrong. You don't have to worry about right and left on these things. You just have to get the correct part in the correct slot. And I'm just trying to get glue on the right places. In any event, when I tried to set this up with my sander to have the tall part go towards the sander disc, the tall part was actually taller than the sander disc, and it just didn't fit very well inside. The sander just didn't fit firmly inside there. So this shows that issue. You can tell that the tall part was just a little higher than the sanding disc, and that's a problem, right? If you want to sand stuff. And the sander was pretty loose in there. I tried to do everything I could to jam it in to make it fit a little bit closer. The other issue is the switch for this particular Festool is up near the front, and it was kind of hard to reach in there. You can see the switch is a little light green thing down there. It was kind of hard to reach in there to turn it on and off. So you actually might be able to use it in this configuration, but not very well. It's going to be inconvenient. I tried lots of different things. I was, just kind of at my wit's end after, a half hour of trying to get this thing to fit, and I couldn't do it. So I sent Chris at A Glimpse Inside an email message. Chris responded right away, and actually the next day, he took one of his sanding, stations down to his local Rockler, where he could borrow one of the Festool sanders that's just like mine, and he came up with this way to mount it. So the big thing was, and I didn't try this because I wasn't smart enough to think of it, he just flipped the whole thing around 180, so that now the tall part is kind of towards me rather than towards the sanding disc, and the sander sort of sits there at an angle. You can see it's not like rock solid, but it's solid enough to be usable. And so that was really good customer service. I mean, he went out of his way to actually go down to Rockler and figure out how this was going to work for my particular sander. And you can see it works fine. Like I say, I don't think it was. It's not rock solid down there, but it's solid enough to work just fine. Here's how it comes out. You just loosen one side of it and pull it out. I'm holding it down to my workbench with a hold fast. Pretty easy to get it up and down that way. I made a little super simple French cleat, just a couple boards and one nail, and then I can just hold this thing over on my wall, pretty near where I do the sanding, so it's very convenient. Anyways, I'm calling this a successful workshop improvement. if you have any interest to adding one of these to your workbench, I would not hesitate to buy the one from A Glimpse Inside. You know, I think it was $75 or something like that, and plus you got to pay shipping, so it comes out to around $90. The alternative out there, and you can see this listed on the Glimpse Inside website and YouTube channel, is there's actually one that's only a bit more expensive, kind of one made out of metal from woodpeckers. And you know, normally woodpecker stuff is crazy expensive, and you can look at A Glimpse Inside channel for his story on why he thinks woodpeckers has priced their sanding holder a little bit lower. Here I am doing a pretty big drawer on it. I don't know that I really like it for parts that are this big. I think it'd be better for smaller parts. For a bigger part, I think it'd be more convenient just to use the hander by sand and hold the part down to the table. But it does work, and you can see it's plenty solid to be successful and stay down on the workbench, and the sander stays attached. So it's quite usable. Anyways, that's my workshop improvement of the week. As always, if you like watching this stuff, please hit the like button. You are more than welcome to subscribe. If you look back at my bit cleaning station, I'm trying to do a giveaway. If I get anybody to comment, I'll give away a bit cleaning station that I made. But so far, I don't have any comments. So anyways, would appreciate a comment. Would appreciate you coming back to watching more of these videos. Talk to you soon. Bye.